Okay, postural distortions. Why stuff hurts and what you can do about it, or how your job is slowly killing you in your slow, inevitable march towards your grave. Types of muscle strain: concentric and eccentric. Eccentric does not mean bizarre. It means overly lengthened. Concentric means tightened or shortened. So in general, the shortened muscles are what are causing the problem. Yet the eccentric or lengthened muscles are what actually hurts. So people tend to want to address the lengthened shit when they also need to be addressing the shortened shit. Normal spine. Okay, so this is a normal spine, and if you see this shape, it curves forward, then backwards, and then forwards again. So this is the cervical curve, which bends forward, the thoracic curve, which bends backward. It's also called the kyphotic curve, and then the lumbar curve goes this way, which is also called the lordotic curve. So sometimes doctors or people will refer to a exaggerated curve, like in the upper back, as kyphosis. The technical term is hyperkyphosis because any curve at all is called kyphosis. So whatever, but that's just for your knowledge. That's it. Did I cover everything? Oh, in your ideal posture, there are these curves, but it all stacks up. So ideally, your ear is over the corner of your shoulder, or the acromion process, which is over the hip bone. So it's one line from top to bottom. And hyperkyphosis. So that is the exaggerated thoracic curve, the hunchback, which comes with the head forward. So instead of my ear being over my shoulder, it's going to be in front. Sunken chest, hunched shoulders, hunched back. Classic computer. Computing. This is how your job is slowly killing you. Okay, so this is just an illustration, which I already went through. So you see the little sunken chest here, the hunched shoulders, the ear that's way in front of the shoulder there. Loss of height. This is legit. It makes you shorter, which is depressing. Hyperlordosis, or the lower back curve. Believe it or not, this is the best picture I could find on the internet. I googled hyperlordosis and nothing came up, but this came up. So it's your Beyonce, it's your over Beyonce with the belly forward and the booty popped. This is lordotic posture. Combo pack, they usually come together. So a lot of times, because like I talked about with the normal curves, you curve in such a way that your body stacks up. A lot of times if you have one of these exaggerated curves, the other one will also be there because your body's just trying to stack up. Upper cross syndrome. All right, so these two curves have these little scientific names. So upper cross syndrome goes with the hyperkyphosis, and it's called upper cross because there are two lines. One line goes through the front of the neck and the upper back, and these are overly stretched muscles. So the muscles on this line are overly stretched, and then the muscles on this line are overly tight, which is going to be your upper traps in the back of your neck and your pecs. I personally find it a little bit more sensical to conceptualize it as like a convex concave relationship. So instead of thinking about it as this X, when you're hunched here, the front of your chest is too tight, the back is too stretched, and then your neck is reversed. The front is overly stretched, the back is overly tightened. Lower cross syndrome, same thing. So there's this X over the hips when you have that hyperlordosis. You have weak lower abs, weak glutes, and then on this line you have the tight lower back and the tight hip flexors. So when you pop your hips this way, right, this is my neutral posture. When I pop it this way, this space is getting shortened, so that's my hip flexors. And this space is getting lengthened, that's my lower abs. This is getting lengthened. What's also getting lengthened, which never gets talked about in lower cross syndrome, is the top of your hamstrings. So this isn't going to directly cause a hamstring injury, but it'll definitely get you one step closer because you have chronic hamstring strain at the attachment point. The moral of the story: problems are related to one another. Everything is fucking related. Tight and overstretched muscles are paired. One thing on one side of your body is going to be overly tightened. The other side of your body is going to be overly stretched. One curve influences another. The overstretched / weak muscles are usually what hurts. So what you can do about it is the tight stuff, stretch it and get it massaged. The weak and stretched stuff, strengthen it. So anything where you're like, any of this motion, anything where you're pulling back, that'll, I don't have anything in here. Boo. Boo. That'll help. And that's basically it. Yeah.